You know, it's really funny that you would mention my butt looks good. I've actually been working out a little bit. Now, wait a minute. Do you want something? Because you never compliment me ever.
The Top, broadcasting live to at least 3 people on Spreaker.com. I never talk to strangers unless they're hot. The Ice Cream Man is evil. Justin Bieber was sent to this planet to destroy the minds of teenage girls. When my hand falls asleep, I like to slap myself in the face with it because it feels like a stranger is attacking me. And I happen to love ponies as well. So, do you want a date?
Mr. Pop.
Dorks of the world, unite. No, okay, listen closely. It's not WOBA, it's WABA.
Take it from the top.
Mr.
Take it from the top.
This is the Chris Top Program, broadcasting worldwide to at least 3 people.
And I am the one and only Chris Top, broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment here in sunny Clarksville, Tennessee, with an ocean view. How the hell are you, world? You know, I'm sitting here, and I've got my official Chris Top Program WABA t-shirt on. And I wore this today. Yeah, I've got my boxers on, too. That's how I roll when I broadcast. But I've got my WABA t-shirt on. And I got to say, whenever I wear it out in public, and it's usually as a t-shirt, I always wear a t-shirt. And I have it under a shirt. Well, that's what a t-shirt is. So I kind of feel like Superman when I wear it. I just want to rip it off, but I can't fly. So I'd look kind of silly if I did that. But I love wearing this shirt. When I broadcast, it makes me feel sort of official. I should probably put pants on, though, I guess. On today's show, I'm going to talk about a few things, and this is a show designed for the ladies because, well, I feel like I've been kind of hard on the ladies lately. So I figured what I could do is I could do something to sort of help you out a little bit. And, you know, we always talk about complimenting our significant others, our female counterparts, and we should. Don't get me wrong, I mean, we should. But the key there is when we compliment anyone, we should always mean it. We should be sincere. So I wouldn't make up stuff. I would just find stuff to compliment on. So I'm going to give you a lot of examples today, and you can apply this to your own relationship. And don't get upset with me because I'm not doing a show on compliments for women, because we've been there, done that. I mean, chicks get compliments all the time. So I'm kind of turning it around a little bit, and I want to give the ladies some ammunition to use. Well, not really ammunition. I guess that's the wrong word, but just I want you to be happy. See, that's my goal today. I want you to be in a happier relationship. Because God knows we need all the help we can get. I mean, most relationships today are dysfunctional. They're a disaster. So we need every little bit we can get, I think. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get started with this one. And I'll go by and say hi in the chat in just a second. Just give me a minute. I want to get the show moving. When was the last time? And don't do this. Don't play with his head. Don't just be condescending when you do this. Don't ask him for advice on something that you've already made your mind up on. I mean, if you don't need his advice, don't ask it. But if his advice would be helpful, then every guy likes that. He likes to feel needed or wanted. I mean, any guy is going to love suggesting solutions, especially when a pretty girl asks for help. And, you know, if you throw out the line, or this line, something like this, I can always count on you for the best advice. And then you give him like one of those little cute, flirty little winks afterwards. He's going to feel really good about that. I know I would, but guys can be pretty perceptive, whether you believe it or not. So, I mean, like I said, if you're being condescending, it's not going to work. So you have to be sincere. So if your guy knows cars and you don't know cars, then ask him something about your car. And I'm just throwing some examples out there. I mean, don't ask him where the gas cap's at. Don't ask him how to put gas in it, because you obviously already know how to do that. But you know where I'm coming from. Now, is your guy charming? Is he a good conversationalist? You know, once you get past the looks, when you meet somebody, and initially it's typically a physical attraction in any relationship. But I think what sort of keeps you involved is going to be the conversation. And the conversation is pretty much, I think, what outlasts anything in any relationship. So is your boyfriend a good conversationalist? And I'm not saying does he ramble on like me, because that doesn't count. But I mean, do you engage each other in conversation? I mean, can you get lost in a conversation for hours at a time? Well, when was the last time you complimented him on being a great conversationalist? On being very charming? When was the last time you said something like this? All my friends love you. They think you're such a great guy to hang out with. Well, what do you think? I mean, guys want your friend's stamp of approval. So when you throw compliments like that out there, it's going to make him feel pretty good. I know it will make me feel pretty good. But see, I wouldn't get that compliment. I have to know somebody for a while before I really turn into a good conversationalist. Otherwise, I just kind of screw everything up. Now, if you throw me in a mix with a new girl and then her girlfriends, it's going to be a disaster. It's going to go exactly the opposite. She's going to be like, you embarrassed me so. You hardly spoke, and when you did speak, it didn't make any sense. What were you thinking? See, that's the kind of reaction I would probably get, at least in the beginning. Now, if she sticks with me for a while, several years down the road, I might be able to carry on a conversation with her and her friends. And you know, every guy thinks he's the world's best driver. Every guy thinks he's as good as anybody in the Indy 500. Is that really a race? Did I just make that? Where is Nathan when you need him? I need verification on if that's a real race or not. But anyway, you can compliment him on his driving skills. Now, don't do it if he backs into a mailbox. That would be bad timing. You know, you back into a mailbox. You're like, oh, hey, you're a really good driver. I really appreciate your driving skills. See, that would be bad. I mean, maybe he throws in a smooth swerve or something, you know, to miss a puppy, and then you can compliment him on his classy driving skills. Yeah, so you see where I'm going with this? I mean, it could be little things, but a lot of times little things do mean a lot, and guys like to hear this stuff. Just don't interrupt them while they're playing their Xbox. Because if you interrupt them when they're playing their Xbox, the compliment's not going to sink in. I mean, all you're going to get is, yeah, sure, okay, I appreciate it. See, they're not going to listen, so you've got to wait when they're away from the game console. Now, I do want to welcome everybody that's in the chat. We have the lovely Vivacious Kiss in the chat. We've got Live to Chat Radio here. Live to Chat's actually been a regular lately. I don't know if you just tune in for my shows or if you just stalk every show on Spreaker, but I do appreciate you being in here nonetheless. We've got Stephen Bolton in the chat. Stephen's actually a buddy of mine. We used to work together, and Stephen, it's good to see you. He says, quit playing games with my heart. With my heart. My heart. Quit playing games. I don't know where that came from. I have no idea. And I'm assuming it's the same Stephen Bolton. And it's just an assumption. But Stephen, it's good to see you. Now, Stephen, you know... Oh, it is the same Stephen Bolton. Okay. No, and it's not the same Nathan that worked with us. It isn't ironic. You have to join the chat. I'm actually talking to the voices in my head. So if you'll come over to Spreaker.com, sign up. It's fun, it's easy, it's free. You can take part in the chat because it's half the show, and you're missing half of it if you don't check it out. And see, Live to Chat. Why do you do that? You know I despise that song. He just blurted out Freebird. I don't... there's lots of reasons I don't like Freebird, and I know I should because I live in the Bible Belt. I live in the South, and everybody here loves Freebird. Now, if I was out in public, if I was on a hayride, or if I was frog gigging with my cousins, maybe a bonfire, I would never in a million years say that I don't like the song Freebird. If someone put Skynyrd on, I would grab my bag of Cheetos, I'd take a bite, I'd wipe it on my shirt, I'd take a drink of my Pabst Blue Ribbon, and I would scream out Freebird, along with the rest of the guys, because I don't want to get beat up. But now I'm sitting here, and this is a worldwide thing, and I think people are a little more understanding. Now, if this was strictly in my hometown, I don't know that I would bring it up. Well, I didn't. Live to Chat brought it up. So, I mean, I just don't like the song. It's too long, and if you play it at a function when people are supposed to be dancing and stuff, everybody sits down. Everybody sits down. All they want to do is get high and light their lighters and hold them up in the air. That's all they want to do. That's it. So I don't like Freebird. Not at all. And today, if you just tuned in, we're actually talking about compliments that the chicks can give the dudes. So I'm actually trying to help out the females today. And if you're a guy and you're listening to the show, it doesn't mean you're a homosexual. Not that there's anything wrong with that, Scooter. I'm just saying that it's okay. And you can listen to the show, and then you can tell your girlfriend later, hey, you need to listen to the Chris Top program. Because, well, okay, I'm not going to tell you why. Just listen to it. Because it'll make me feel a whole lot better. Have you guys been paying attention to my true facts? I'm really getting into this, and I'm proud of myself because I'm not really ripping anybody off. I'm making most of these up well, I guess I've made them all up myself. Now, I know that I say that, but I mean, somebody could, well, no, you didn't, because I've seen something like that. Well, it could have happened. But I've been pulling all these out of my head, and it's been kind of cool. And not all of them are true facts, but one of them was, okay, here's one of them. Ladies, are you tired of that not-so-fresh feeling? Try the Chris Top program. It's stuff like that. It's just fun. And then I've got another one. I need to make a list of these and post them. I need to go back through my Facebook and just make a complete Chris Top program fact list. Fact: the Chris Top program was played on Superman's shuttle when he escaped Krypton. See, these are so much fun. Now, if you have an idea for a Chris Top program fact, go ahead and private message me on Facebook, and I'll use your ideas, if I like them, on the page, and I'll mention them on the show, and I'll even give you credit. That's all I'm going to give you. I'm not going to pay you for it, and as long as you know that up front, it's okay. But I would appreciate any input, and it's just fun. It's fun to be interactive with you guys. Let's see. Oh, we got Guy Shea in here. Guy says, loving the episodes, Chris, but could you close your curtains or put some pants on? See, I knew there was a reason I was feeling creepy. I knew there was. Now, guys, if you want to be entertained, and I've got to say this, if there was a category for the most improved show on Spreaker, I would say it has to be Guy Shea. Now, not that he started off bad, but he constantly gets better every time I hear his show. And the last one that I listened to, and you got to check it out. Click on Guy Shea. Make sure you follow. If you don't follow anybody else in the chat today, follow Guy Shea and listen to his last episode. It was Time Machine or something like that. It was. But anyway, he makes fun of me and he makes fun of a couple of other broadcasters on Spreaker. Very, very funny stuff. I literally laughed out loud a few times. And I have to say literally because everybody LOL this, LOL. I really did laugh when I listened to it. It was good. And I can tell that he put a lot of time and effort into it. It wasn't something that he just threw together. So if you want a really good laugh, don't leave my show to go listen to it. But just make sure you check it out and give it a try. And you'll keep going back because Guy's very funny. But he is, it is an adult show. So if you've got to at least be 50 before you can listen to the show. Well, you have to be 50 before I feel comfortable sending you over there. And I'm not even sure about that, honest to goodness. Now, see, I don't know if this one applies to me, and we're talking about compliments that you can give, that the ladies can give their guys today. And, you know, the chat is pretty much a sausage party, so I'm hoping that some females will go back and listen to the actual podcast later tomorrow, or maybe pop in today, or just at least let me know you're listening, because I want to feel like I'm doing something worthwhile. Well, I mean, I know Kiss is in here, but she's not going to compliment me. Okay, physique. See, I don't really spend a whole lot of time on my physique. You know, unless you want to compliment, you know, those Mountain Dews that you drink, it's really showing now, Chris. I mean, yeah, wow, you look really good. What size pants are you wearing now? Maybe we should go for a walk. You know, we go for a walk, and then maybe in a few months I can compliment your physique. I don't know. But, I mean, if your guy goes to the gym a lot, and he's constantly working on this, well, one of the reasons that he does it, aside from being healthy and wanting to live longer, is that he likes to get compliments. So it doesn't hurt to throw out some of these compliments from time to time. Now, what about this? And ladies, I want your input on this one. Say you're walking through the mall with your guy, and there's some other ladies that are checking him out. Now, how do you typically respond to that? Do you take your fingernails and just dig them into his arm? Get little pieces of his skin under your fingernails? Is that what you usually do? Well, you shouldn't do that. See, this is a great opportunity to compliment your guy. And see, guys, I'm helping you out here. You know how awkward that is sometimes when you're with your girlfriend and other girls are checking you out? And I'm not talking about you checking other girls out. That's a different category. That's a different story. But when girls are checking you out, it can be a little bit awkward sometimes because you don't know how to react. Now, what if your girlfriend said, hey, and you're like, oh, God, here it comes. Oh, I'm going to get it. I didn't even do anything. I was looking at those socks. I was here at the mall looking at socks. And then all of a sudden, these girls start looking at me, and then my girl she digs their fingernails deep into my arm. What if she looked at you and she said, hey, check out those girls. They're looking at you. That's actually a cool thing. They're checking you out. It means I've got a good-looking boyfriend. Now, what if she reacted like that? It wouldn't make it very awkward. She complimented you on it. I personally think that's the way a situation like that should be handled. I mean, if it was reversed and there were guys checking out my girlfriend, I'd be like, yeah, I got a good-looking girlfriend, yeah. See, it would make me feel good. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if he's looking back and then they come over and they start flirting and he grabs their ass, well, that's a different story. But I'm not talking about that. What about his dreams and ambitions? Now, I don't know what your particular case may be. I don't know what types of dreams and ambitions you have to deal with, but the important thing here is, if they're dreams and ambitions, that means they're important to him. And like I said, if it's something that you think is silly, there are other things to compliment him on. But if it's something that he strives for, if it's something that he works hard on every day, if it's something that it's almost an addiction, but it's a healthy addiction, then it doesn't hurt to compliment him. And when you're in a relationship and when you love a guy, you should be his inspiration. Right? I mean, you compliment him, it's gonna motivate him. It's gonna drive him. And to me, that's one of the greatest things you can compliment your guy on. It's something that's important to him. You're letting him know that he's doing great and that you're proud of him. Whether or not he gets to where he wants to be, it's okay. You're there to back him up. And that's a pretty important thing, I think. And of course, a lot of this stuff, it goes both ways. Now, what about this? And this is one of those things. I mean, once you get past the physical attraction, this is one of those things that, and statistics say this is true, that most women love a guy for his sense of humor. I mean, does your guy make you laugh? I don't mean just the guy that stands there and tells jokes. I'm talking about the guy that just, he's charming and witty. He says things and it just flows. It's a good sense of humor. Do you compliment him on his sense of humor? See, so many of these things, they seem like little things, but they're really not. And I think so many times, and again, this goes both ways, we take each other for granted. Oh, he knows he's funny. I used to tell him all the time, like 20 years ago. I still laugh at his jokes. He knows he's funny. I don't have to tell him. Yeah, you do. You should tell him all the time that he's funny. I mean, imagine how happy your guy would be if you told him he had a nice ass. If you told him he had a great sense of humor. If you were there to back him up and whatever ambition that he has. See, this is big stuff. I mean, it seems like little itty-bitty things, but it all adds up. Let's see. Steven says he's not sure if he's going to have the internet in 23 years. I wonder what we will have in 23 years. I bet it's going to be something that would probably freak us out if we got it right now. You know? I bet it would be something like, well, we're just sitting around and it's like this big floaty hologram. And we just absorb information and maybe through our fingernails. I don't know. You know, if we don't have a shrinking ray in the next 23 years, I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be totally pissed off. I want a shrinking ray, and I'll explain in a second. But we've got the 5x5 in the chat. He says, hey, Chris, popped over for a sec. 5x5, it's good to see you. I think this is your first time in my program, so I have to tell you this. And I think I told Steven this a second ago as well. You've got to post the dorkiest picture that you have of yourself on my Facebook fan page. And it's not so I can make fun of you. Well, it kind of is. But it's just so you can join the Dork Club. And this is the place where the dorks come. This is where we hang out. It's you step from your closet and you embrace the light of your dorkhood when you come into my chat. And I want to say a couple of things before I go any further because I'm going to run out of time. These 30-minute shows drive me nuts. They really do. I do not, nor will I ever take any of you for granted because there are a million other places that you could be, but you chose to listen to me. That makes me feel very, very good. It really does. Now, let's spread the Spreaker love. If you have a show here on Spreaker, go ahead and type the word show into the chat. And make sure you click on everybody that typed the word show. Give them at least one listen. Give them a chance, and that's all we can ever ask for is a chance. If you don't like it, you can unfollow them. If you do like it, then congratulations, you found something super cool. And I have to talk about Holly because I said the word super cool. She actually did a punk show today of the Chris Top program, and I can tell who listens to my show, and Holly definitely listens to my show because she nailed me. I mean, she said super cool. I don't think I say super cool as much as she said it, but I know what she was going for when she did her broadcast, and it was actually very entertaining. I don't mind getting made fun of. I really don't, and it's actually a very big form of flattery, I think, when somebody makes fun of you. And at least I hope that's the way Guy took it when I made fun of him as well. But I want to thank Holly for what she did. Normally I don't thank people for making fun of me, but it works, I guess, in this situation. Now I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, we're going to talk for about 5 more minutes. And then I have to move on to other things. I don't want to go. I really don't, and it's these 30-minute shows. It's driving me nuts. It really is. So I'm still pending. I'm trying to get into iHeartRadio. I'm on day number 10 in pending limbo. So I'm waiting to hear back from them, and as soon as I hear from them, one way or the other, I'll go back to longer shows. If they accept me, then I'll automatically have more time because I'll be in iHeart. And if they deny me, then I'll just go back to my other account and I'll do the longer shows again. But you're absolutely positively in the right place. You are listening to the Chris Top program.
The Top, broadcasting live to at least 3 people on Spreaker.com. Holly Stallin's words cut like a double-edged sword. On the Edge with Holly Stallin, the fastest 30 minutes on Spreaker.com. Thank you for calling the Redneck Crisis Hotline. Our menus have changed. We no longer offer bologna and biscuit sandwiches on Tuesday. If you are calling because you live in a trailer park and just witnessed a UFO, just spit. If your family tree goes straight up and has no branches, just yell Freebird because that makes everything better. Freebird! If your favorite color is John Deere, then kiss your sister but in a non-sexual way. Thank you for calling the Redneck Crisis Hotline.
Take it from the top.
Mr. Pop.
Dorks of the world, unite. No, okay, listen closely. It's not WOBA, it's WABA.
Take it from the top.
Mr. Pop.
And I am the one and only Chris Top from the Chris Top program, taking that milk money back 1 nickel at a time. Be a dork, be proud, be hip. Those, my friends, are words to live by. Is your guy chivalrous? When was the last time you complimented him for opening the door for you?
I don't have to compliment him for opening my door. I mean, he's supposed to do that. He's supposed to open my door. That's what guys, he's supposed to pay for my dinner.
Well, you could at least say thank you. Thank yous go along. Did you not ever listen to your mother? Now, how about his ability in the bed? I mean, is your guy great in bed? And see, this is probably one of those things that women can fake. Because women are good at faking stuff in the bed. I know this. I know they are, okay? But maybe he is good in bed. So, I mean, if he is, then you should tell him about it. I mean, you should compliment his abilities. So I think the more you compliment, the more adventurous he's probably going to get in bed. And that's actually really beneficial, I think, for both of you. I mean, if that's what you want. I mean, if you just want to sit there and read a book and fall asleep, well, that's one thing. But if you want more, then you should definitely compliment him. And compliment him on the stuff that you like. Don't compliment him on things that he thinks he's doing good that you don't like, because that's not going to do you any good at all. Oh, you're looking behind my ear again. It kind of reminds me when I was a little kid growing up, and my dog would lick the back of my ear, and it feels so disgusting. Would you stop it? Don't compliment him for licking the back of your ear if you don't like it. Now, if he licks other places that you like, then you should compliment him on that, and then maybe he'll lick there more often. Now, what about this? Now, a lot of girls, a lot of times, a lot of ladies will get jealous of a guy and his bond with his friends. Now, have you ever thought about maybe complimenting him on his bond with his friends? Now, I know the whole male bonding thing, that's hard for chicks to understand. But, I mean, if he has a great bunch of friends, I mean, guys that he's really close to, then maybe you should compliment him on his friends. I was raised like this. I was always brought up to believe that a man's true value is based on his friends. Not only the amount of friends that he has, but the type of friends that he keeps. So just tell him how nice his friends are. He'll appreciate that, because he's really going to appreciate it, because he thinks that his friends are a reflection of him. Pretty deep, huh? Yeah, right? It's pretty good stuff. Now, what about the work that he does? Now, I'm not talking about his ambitions. I'm talking about what he presently does. Maybe he works hard. Maybe he comes home and he complains about it. but he gets through the day, right? Maybe he's a workaholic. Well, tell him that you love what he does. I mean, guys love that stuff. They love it almost as much as actually getting a promotion. When they hear it from somebody that they care about, someone that they're in love with, when they tell them that they do a good job, then it makes them feel good. Now, this one's important. And I thought about just not even bringing this one up, but I thought, well, maybe I'm running out of time. Oh, well, crap. I'm out of time. Until I broadcast again, please remember this. Life is good. I hate this. I really do. I'm sorry. Life is good. And I'm gone.
You have been exposed to the Chris Top program. Tune in next, yeah, I don't have a schedule. Right.